Here's your countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everyone? Welcome. My name is Laura, aka PURPLEXEDQT. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I will say tomorrow night's interview is going to be members only. So if you want to ask questions during the interview, it is for members, mods, Patreons. If you're a Patreon and you're not a member, just let me know and I'll mod you up. So this way you can still engage. What's up, D-Land? So let me say hi to everyone. What's up, everyone? Where do I begin? Let me start with a couple of things that I saw in chat, and then we'll get right down to it. There's a lot of things I'm going to be talking about tonight. Chris is one of them, and one of the first ones. Lori, while you said that, I looked it up because I knew it was a man, and I don't know if he told that lie, but it was not an American female that discovered Touch DNA. It was an Australian man by the name of Roland, an Australian forensic scientist named Roland van Oorschot. So that's who actually discovered Touch DNA. So if he told you that this woman discovered it, he's lying yet again, because that was a quick Google search. Who invented Touch DNA or who discovered Touch DNA? It's a very easy Google search to see that he's a liar, if that's what was said. Thank you, Will. So moving on from that, that's lie number one. If that's what was said. I don't watch him, so I don't really know. But let me tell you why I have this thing about Chris, all right? I don't know. Hey, Brenda. I don't know how many people know this. I just found this out today. I guess if you followed the summer case, you would know this because of everything that transpired. But again, I was told this today, so I just found out about it. But it seems that Chris went after somebody from Web Sleuths, some guy named Jamie. I think it's a guy. And because he tried to say that Jamie was involved with Don Wells and some kind of sex ring or a pedophile ring or whatever it was, there were people that actually showed up at Jamie's house with a gun and wanted to kill him and his family. From what I was told, Jamie sat outside with a gun trying to protect his family. To this day, he's still scared. Now, it seems that he's doing the same thing with this guy on Twitter. I am not going to, hey Zelda, I'm not going to insult anybody by saying anyone that follows him is an idiot. I'm going to refrain from doing that. But here's what I am going to say. I'm going to ask you to listen to everything tonight. Listen to logic, listen to facts, and then tell me if you have the same opinion when I'm done. All right? That's all I'm going to ask after I present all of this. Because I really don't think any able-minded person is going to have the same opinion coming into this as they do going out of this if they believe that what Chris is saying is true. Okay? So first I'm going to play a clip that this guy Jamie's house from Web Sleuths. I think it was called from Web Sleuths. So actually, before I even play a clip, let me say this. I don't want to jump too far ahead with the Michael Crowe case. But here's logic, all right? The whole world is looking for Brian. Brian Enton, News Now, Fox 13, JB, my boy, JB, Long Island, Tampa Bay, and everyone in between are camped out in front of his house, are working nonstop around the clock, trying to find Brian Laundrie. The FBI is involved. Suffolk County Police are involved. Tampa Bay Police are involved. FBI from a few different states are involved. And not one time Not once. Has anybody leaked anything that they shouldn't? We got helicopters going. We got everything. At no point are any of the media or news people going to do anything that's going to hinder an investigation. Nor are they going to do anything that or say anything that can be used against them. For example, I hear, especially now, a lot of the newscasters or the news reporters are very, very specific on saying Brian is only a person of interest. Brian has an arrest warrant, but not for the murder. No, but we haven't tied him to the murder yet. They've been very, very careful about how they say it and not making him guilty before we even know cause of death. I've heard many newscasters, helicopter guys, people camped out, really being careful to make sure they put out proper information and nothing that's going to hinder a case, nothing that they can get sued for, nothing that's going to hurt them. They've been very meticulous about it and correcting people and correcting themselves, even in hashtags. They've done a fantastic job of doing it. The chief of police or the police spokesperson has also done a wonderful job correcting it. FBI has kept their mouth shut like FBI does, and we only get what FBI tells the media. The cops have a spokesperson. The cops have been very quiet about what's going on because they don't want to hinder an investigation. So I find it extremely odd that an alleged great cop, ex-detective, whatever you want to call him, would put this out there if it were true that he would put this out there. First of all, if it was Brian, why would you bring this publicly? Think about it. If you truly believed it was Brian, you would never bring this out publicly. You would have contacted your buddies in the FBI. They would have contacted Twitter, got a warrant, traced it back, and so on and so forth. And it would have been done very quietly because you wouldn't give Brian a heads up that we know it's you and blah, blah, blah. Logic 101. That is the key number reason why Chris is full of shit. Because if it was Brian, nobody would call it out. They would keep it under wraps till they located the IP that it was coming from and everything else. And they would want him to keep talking. That is how investigations work. That is strictly how police and FBI work. At no point, if you're looking for a suspect, at no point are you going to announce on social media where he is if the FBI is looking all over the place to find him. But you know where he is. That's not how investigations work. Brian right now is the most hunted man in America. There's no denying that. Literally the most hunted man in America. Everybody's looking for him. And nobody can seem to find him or even find a trace by him because he has no phone, he has no anything. Unless he has a burner phone. But he has no phone. Hey, Teflon. Plan of the family say went to the swamp and try to get him declared dead. Then the search for him would end. See, that's what I say. I don't think he's there either. But the point is, nobody, and thank you, Teflon, nobody is going to blast on social media that this is really him if it was really him. Not the most wanted man in America. He went as far as to say that he's taunting the police. That's not even Brian's personality. If you haven't noticed, Brian's pretty fucking quiet. Brian is not a mastermind. He is not this master manipulator. And I'll get into that after. But he's not this master manipulator who's taunting the police, who's looking for him. Like, he's got him spun into something that he's not. I don't know Brian personally, obviously, but I watched twice today the full video cam. Brian is not a master manipulator. I honestly don't even think he's a narcissist. I'm going to explain why. But that's a whole nother issue. But nobody is going to announce how, Brian's taunting him, Brian's doing this. If he really had something and it really was Brian, he would keep his fucking fat ass mouth shut. But he didn't do that. He accused an innocent person of being Brian. The person is smart and blocked him. I don't need this bullshit. I'm just going to block him. Well, Chris's ego can't handle being blocked. But here's the funny part. This I thought was hysterical. All right, check this out. So he taunts this guy on Twitter. Let's take a look at Chris McDonough's Twitter. What? Are you kidding me? Like, honestly, is this fucking real life? So you torture somebody on Twitter and yours are protected? Wow. Wow. That's fucking ballsy. That is an ego too big for words. I can't even believe that his tweets are protected. He has a private Twitter while he's taunting and harassing an innocent person. But that innocent person can't respond. Okay. Brian is laid back and don't talk much. I agree. I think CM should have kept the essay allegations of Don Wells behind closed doors instead of putting it on YouTube because he needs views and clicks, and I don't care what anyone says. So that's first of all. I am a little surprised. I really am a bit surprised. Chris is not ruthless. He's a liar. He's a straight up liar. And I'm going to show you. Hey, Verika. I'm going to show you guys a little video. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Michael Crowe case. That person can't see his comments either. Exactly. So, yes, Muffin. So, he then doubles down today. I'm trying to go in order. He doubles down today and puts out this video that was the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen. And it's saying his title, you want to talk about clickbait titles, he claims it's confirmed that it's Brian. What? No, it's not. It is not confirmed to be Brian. Once again, you're a fucking liar. You can't use a read technique on somebody that you don't know, and you're not a cop anymore. This man's ego and head is way too big for his channel because he can't be wrong. He can torture somebody all day long. Whoop. He can torture somebody all day long. He now put a target on this person's back. What if the FBI shows up at this guy's house? What if, Twitter can find out where you're coming from. Even if you use a VPN, Twitter can find out. So, or the FBI can definitely find out. So he now put a target on this guy's back. Then he says it's confirmed that it's Brian Laundrie. Chris, nothing is confirmed it's Brian Laundrie, you fucking liar. And again, if it was Brian Laundrie, he would never be announcing this in public. So then I hope this guy sues his ass off for defamation. And what if something happens to this guy? What if this guy, it lives in a state, I don't know who he is or she is, but let's say this guy lives in a state with open carry. Let's say Texas. Let's say this guy lives in Texas and he's in an open carry state. And he walks out of his house with a gun in his hand because you can do that. You can do that in Alabama too. You don't have to have it concealed. You could walk around with a gun in your hand. So I'll use my state. Let's say he lives in Alabama. He walks out of his house with a gun. He's going to a gun rally or whatever. And he has a gun in his hand. The cops and FBI show up at that time. Who's to say he's not going to get shot? Think about it. Or somebody goes to his house to harass him, and he's not Jamie. He's not going to keep a gun in his holster. You show up at his door, he's going to put a fucking bullet through your head. Why wouldn't he? Chris, can you live with that? Because that's what you're doing to this person. And again, I don't know if this person's a guy or a girl, but how dare he put targets on people's backs for no reason? Just because, there are so many nomadic somethings all over the place, all over Twitter. There's tons of nomadic somethings. There's tons on Facebook. There's tons on TikTok. There's tons on Instagram. It's van travel. It's life on the road. It's nomads. For him to put targets on Jamie's back, where Jamie now has to have a gun and worry about his family because he's allegedly in a sex ring with Don Wells. Now he puts this guy or girl as a target on her back when all this person's doing is just talking on Twitter. The fact that he's doing this is vile. There's no other reason to do it than his ego and clicks and views and money. Because I can't understand why this professional cop, this cop that has such a great track record, but has such a great track record, whose ego is bigger than what's her name's channel? His ego is bigger than PewDiePie's channel. And he sees nothing wrong with it. He thinks it's perfectly okay. Then you have people that believe his bullshit and toss him money and think it's perfectly okay that he's lying to everybody. No, it's not okay. And I know a lot of people are scared to call him out. I got nothing to lose. I don't have 10 million subs. I really don't. I don't have anything to lose by doing this. But somebody's got to call this motherfucker out because this is insane. Insane. I would be a total hypocrite if I sat here and said that Chris McDonough is, fights for the innocent and everything else. No, he doesn't. And I would be a hypocrite if I allowed it and didn't call it out, because I do fight for innocent and I do fight for people's rights. Unlike him, whose ego is so big that he doesn't give a fuck. Now, one thing I did learn, surprisingly enough, because I thought more states adopted, like Wisconsin, about a juvenile cannot be interrogated without a attorney present. Well, as of May of 2021 in the state of California, a police officer only has to advise them that they can have a lawyer. They don't have to have a lawyer. And we're talking like 14-year-olds. To this day and age, as of May, they still don't have a law in place like Wisconsin that says that no juvenile can be questioned without an attorney or a parent present. So I'm very surprised in today's day and age, California has not changed yet, but it hasn't. So back in the 80s, there was a case by the name of Stephanie. There was a little girl that was murdered named Stephanie Crowe. When Chris McDonough was fucking with people during the Summer Wells case, when he first came onto the scene, a lot of people posted a video of when Chris's ego called into a radio station after he was wrong. There's about a 7-minute video that shows a clip of the interrogation, the disgusting interrogation that this liar did. And I'm going to show you guys this clip. I will give a warning. For some reason, they keep repeating this one part about Chris saying how he was not involved. It kind of gets annoying, but I think they do it for a reason, because Chris was involved. Chris was sued and lost over this whole case. There's a movie on it. There's a made-for-TV movie on it. Excellent, excellent video called, excellent movie called the interrogation of Michael Crowe. Chris McDonough played a big part in this. But watch this man's ego as he calls into this radio station after Michael Crowe, this 14-year-old boy, was found innocent of killing his sister. Okay, hold on. Oh, does she, Erica? And before I play it, let me say this. My brother's a cop. My ex was a cop. Not my ex, my first husband's family. I have family that are police. I have the utmost respect for police. I believe police. I will never not believe police. So I don't want anyone to think that I am like a police hater at all, because I'm not at all. When, a lot of these websites came out, I always gave them the benefit of the doubt. George Floyd, I gave the benefit of the doubt until I was proven otherwise. So I just don't want anyone to think I'm anti-cop, because I'm not at all, at all, except making a murder of cops. I'm anti them. So if you're not Manitowoc, then I'm all right. But I want to stress that. I'm very pro-police, very pro-blue. All right, let me get this. All right.
On the same day the case is dismissed, Detective Chris McDonough calls into this radio show to defend his role in the interrogation process.
I did not wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and sit down and say, you know what, today's the day I'm going to plant and frame Joshua Treadway for murder.
Well, I don't think that
ridiculous.
anybody... Detective McDonough, I don't think anybody is saying that this is born of hostility rather than stupidity.
If I may finish, secondarily, on top of that, videotape it at the same time.
Did you hear that ego? Even the radio station is like, is this guy's ego kidding me?
It's ridiculous. I am in a job to bring justice to that family, but I'm also in a job to bring justice to Mr. Tuitt if, in fact, he is not the perpetrator.
Do you think those detectives crossed the line?
Okay, let me tell you, Mr. Pruitt was guilty. In my eyes, in the world's eyes, he was guilty. But here's Chris protecting this drug addict who most likely went into this person's house and killed this 9-year-old girl. But that's who Chris is worried about, not the 14-year-old that he made false confess. But listen more.
In those
What's
moments,
your definition of crossing the line?
doing what you're not supposed to in an interrogation.
I don't think it was an intentional thing on their part. Never confessed. He just gave the police what he thought they wanted to hear.
I think the Escondido Police Department acted within the scope of their responsibilities, absolutely.
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough sees things differently.
I think not being there, so I don't know what they were thinking, so I'm not going to, guess.
Before giving the truth verification test, Detective McDonough actually works together with Michael to formulate the questions.
What are some things we want to learn here, do you think?
If I know who did it, if I did it.
Okay, well, let's do that then. Do you know who, let's say, took Stephanie's life?
No.
Okay, would that be a good, fair question?
Yes.
Okay, do you know who took?
Let me also add, this is a 14-year-old kid whose sister was just murdered. Okay? 14 years old. His sister was murdered in a house. He's separated from his parents. Now this is the 80s. It's, I think, 87, 84 or 87. So, techniques were different then. But yeah, 14 years old. There's no way you can sleep at night talking like this with a 14-year-old.
Do you know how she died?
No.
Soon the test questions are agreed upon, and McDonough asks Michael to sign a form declaring he's about to take the test voluntarily.
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough.
See, that's the part that they keep repeating over and over, and I think because that's like Chris's excuse of why he lied and used a read technique on a 14-year-old. So just watch.
Sees things differently.
I think not being there, so I don't know what they were thinking, so I'm not going to, guess.
So Michael's interrogation continues. All the while, his parents assume he's being looked after at a children's shelter, unaware he is in police custody.
They just kept grilling and grilling and grilling, and to think that we were at home not even knowing he was near the police station. If we would have known, we would have been there.
Now, however, Michael seems almost relieved to be cooperating and submits readily to the voice stress analyzer.
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough sees things differently.
Are you sitting down? Yeah. Do you know who took Stephanie's life?
No.
Is today Thursday?
Yes.
Brittany, on to something about what? The Crowe family sued all of them and got multi-millions for it because he's a liar.
Did you take Stephanie's life?
No.
8 minutes later, the truth exam is complete.
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough sees things differently.
Go over these charts and I'll be back here in a couple minutes, okay?
When we come back, what will the voice stress exam reveal? It is 4 p.m. Thursday, January 22nd, 1998, and 14-year-old Michael Crowe of Escondido, California, is in the midst of a 4-hour interrogation at police headquarters without an attorney or his parents present. His younger sister Stephanie was found murdered at home the day before, and investigators suspect Michael may be involved. He has just completed a voice stress exam.
Yes.
Now, Detective Chris McDonough returns with the results.
I think not being there, so I don't know what they were thinking, so I'm not going to, guess. What did you think? What were your thoughts through the whole thing?
I don't know. Nervous.
Nervous? Okay, let's go over that. What were you nervous about?
I don't know, that it might be wrong.
Okay, in what way?
And it might say I did kill Stephanie.
Okay, and why would it say that?
I don't know, because everyone's already treating me like that.
Well, and I can understand your feelings there, okay? I mean, you're 14 and you've been through a lot, okay? But this instrument doesn't know you, does it?
No.
Science is in our favor. Okay, technology's on our side. Okay? I mean, can you understand that?
The detective shows Michael the charts of his performance on the so-called truth exam. They indicate he lied when he answered no to question 12, do you know who took Stephanie's life?
Maybe there's...
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough sees things differently.
Something we need to understand about Michael and about your sister that we didn't understand, and maybe somebody could have helped. It's okay. It's okay to feel the way you feel.
I really
okay, but
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why I'd say that. I swear to God, I don't know.
But the police think they know. Their theory on this second day of the investigation is that a very smart, very lonely, and very angry Michael Crowe stabbed his sister to death.
Brittany, do you have any kids? Because I guarantee you, if I kept Dayton in a room, my 14-year-old, if I kept him in a room for hours on end, I can convince him that he just committed murder. Hours on end. Just me and him in an interrogation room and me earning his trust. As smart as he is, I will guarantee you I can convince him that he just killed his sister, even though his sister's perfectly alive. That you can't use these techniques on a 14-year-old. You just can't. Their brain isn't developed enough. Their psyche isn't enough. This kid just walked into his sister's room and saw blood everywhere. Separated from his parents. They're left in this children's home while the parents are elsewhere. And they took him separate from his little sister and interrogated him for days. Days. You can do that with any 14-year-old. I tested this a couple years ago. I'll explain that after.
Death. His likely motive, a rage-fueled case of sibling rivalry.
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough sees things differently.
Looking at you right now, okay, and inside you're about ready to burst. We can't bring her back. She's gone. Okay? You're fighting it. You're.
I don't know what to do anymore.
I understand.
Now I'm being told that I'm lying.
I'm not saying, Michael, I'm not saying that. Have you heard me say that? What if they come back and say to you, Michael, we have your hair?
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough sees things differently.
They say, Michael, we have your hair in her hand. And all of a sudden, you go, now what? I mean, what are you going to do at that point? I mean,
at that point, I would have to have completely blanked out and did it without knowing it. Because I don't know.
Okay. Hypothetically. Could that have happened?
No, not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
Like I said, I would have to be completely unaware of it.
Okay. Have you ever blacked out before?
No, never.
Okay, I believe you. I believe you.
If I knew who did it, you would know. Everyone would know right now.
Okay, why?
Because whoever did it, if I ever find out, I'll hate them forever. I loved her. I loved her deeply.
Soon after, Michael Crowe once again is left alone.
Though he wasn't there for the most grueling part of the interrogations, Chris McDonough sees things differently.
The next thing is to convince the person that their situation is hopeless.
All right. So Tiffany says, hold on. All right. Tiffany says, Chris never said that Jamie was in a sex swing with Don. I don't know who told you that. Don said his coworker Jamie saw him the day Summer disappeared. Chris thought he meant Jamie Wilson. Okay, but somebody showed up to Jamie's house with a gun, thanks to Chris. So I heard that from a couple of people. He felt horrible and he fixed it? No, he did not. He did not fix it. He waited weeks to fix it. And then instead of doing it on his own channel, he put out some kind of community post. Does he feel horrible about what he's doing to the guy on Twitter? That he's lying out of his ass? Does he feel bad about that? I didn't say it didn't happen months ago, but the one on Twitter is happening now. That's why it was brought up. Yeah, Chris don't feel horrible at anything. You don't read my second comment. I didn't see your second comment. I saw Laura. I didn't see your second comment. I don't see a second comment. He felt horrible and he fixed it. That's all I see. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah, I saw that. Chris thought he meant Jamie Wilson. He made public statements everywhere to correct it. I didn't see the second comment. I don't see a second comment. I don't see it. Wait, there's one. Yeah, Laura, Chris never said Jamie was in a sex ring with Don Wells. I don't know who told you that. Then you said Laura. Then you said he felt horrible and he fixed it. Then you said that happened months ago. Yeah, he did. Please read the second comment. There is no second comment. I just read everything I see. Hey. I'm going to put you on speaker. All right. All right, Tiffany on the phone.
Okay, so this is what happened. And this happened, I want to say, about almost 2 months ago, around 2 months ago. I might have the time a little off.
Okay.
But what happened was Don Wells had gone up on panel and talked about being at work with Jamie. That's all he said, Jamie. And then he made another statement saying that the guy's name was Jamie Killian.
Okay.
So he did say the last name, right?
Okay.
Chris heard him say Jamie, and because Jamie Wilson had done the dog trail video, and because he had gone down to Warriors Pass, the horse pond, he was already on YouTube putting out videos and doing things, right? So Chris thought that it was Jamie Wilson.
Okay.
What happened was he got the wrong person. He made a mistake. What happened was I called Chris and I sent him some messages and I let him know he had the wrong Jamie. When Chris got those messages, he immediately went into his Discord, put out a statement to all of the people in his Discord. He went to his Twitter. He put out a statement to everybody on his Twitter, and he went on Unmasked that night because he was scheduled to go on, and he cleared it up in front of thousands of people. He made sure to make sure that he said that it was not Jamie Wilson. It was the wrong Jamie. He apologized to Jamie, and he did feel very sorry about it. I talked to Chris about this. I'm the one that contacted him to let him know he had the wrong person. So I personally like Jamie Wilson a lot. I think he's a great person. He has done a lot out there.
Yep. Hold on, that got disconnected.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know. We got disconnected.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe you hit the thing.
So what's the last thing that you heard?
Exactly what you said. You said that he went up. You really like Jamie Wilson.
Right. So I told Chris he's good people. He felt horrible about it. He made sure that he made the statement. He put it in his Discord, put it out on Twitter. He went on Unmasked that night. They were discussing Suzanne Morphew. You can go back. I believe it was Suzanne Morphew. You can go back and see. He did clear it up, and he made sure to correct it. I know Jamie's upset because Chris did not correct it on his channel, and he's upset because Web Sleuths did not correct the information, and it happened on their platform.
Okay, why wouldn't he do it on his channel? Why wouldn't he correct it on his channel?
That night. He corrected it that night. So that night, he was already scheduled to go on Unmasked. Now, I don't know. You'd have to ask Chris. All I know is he cleared it up that very night that he got my text message. So when he went on Unmasked, he made sure to do it that night. He wasn't going live on his channel. He already had a scheduled live with Unmasked, so that's where he cleared it up.
Okay, but Unmasked doesn't get 12,000 people. He does.
Yeah, they do.
No, they get like 4.
No, Laura, that's not true.
All right.
Well, anyhow, I don't know how many people were viewing that very night. I know Jamie is still upset about it. I don't know what to do about that. And then everybody pulled out the Michael Crowe stuff. What you're playing right now, where'd that come from? Betty?
The Michael Crowe?
The video that you're playing right now.
Oh, I've had that for a while. I studied the Michael Crowe case.
But Chris wasn't even an investigator. He was conducting the test. He wasn't the one interrogating.
Oh, yes, he was. He was called in.
He wasn't.
He was called in. He was also sued up the ass for it. He was called in to help. And he lost the lawsuit along with the rest of them.
What's going on? Why are you angry with Chris?
What?
Why are you angry with Chris?
Because this person on Twitter, I cannot believe what he's doing to this innocent person on Twitter and then doubling down. is saying that it's confirmed it's Brian. No, it's not. You're a fucking liar. And you're doing the exact same thing to this person. What are you going to do if someone goes after him? What are you going to do if the FBI now fucking harasses this guy because of your bullshit? That's fucked up. You don't do that. You don't target innocent people and then double down on it.
Laura, I have a direct line to him. Do you want to talk to him?
I would love to. I would love to know why he's doing this. I would absolutely love it.
He's a good person. He's not. I mean, yeah. Try to reach out to him. He would. I'm sure he would talk to you.
Okay. I would love to talk to him.
Yeah, I don't want to see this happening.
I understand.
But what I wanted to make sure that you knew was that he didn't say that Jamie was in a sex ring. He just he accidentally got the wrong person because Don said Jamie was at work with him and he was his alibi. So Chris was like, oh, what the heck? So he thought it was Jamie. But when he found out that it was not Jamie Wilson, he went, like I said, he went to his Twitter, he went to his Discord, and he said, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I'm correcting this right now. And I know Jamie's still upset about it. Like I said, I don't know how to fix that. I understand he's pissed. I don't know what to do about that. But I do know.
Wait, hold on, Tiff. You do realize that Chris's Twitter is locked down. Like, the public can't see it. So him apologizing on Twitter means absolutely nothing.
I don't know if it's private or
I looked. It is.
He made that. It might be private now. I know he closed his Discord. I don't know if it was private at the time. Who you could talk to? Triggered Minds. Trigger Minds has been. She's actually pretty friendly with Jamie. I think Jamie's mad at me, but I don't know. But anyhow. The point of the story here is that he did apologize to him, and he did he made several public statements, and I just don't want you to have the wrong information and think he didn't care about it and he let it just go and never said a word and didn't correct it, because he did. As soon as he read my text message, he went immediately to, it wasn't quick enough, obviously, for Jamie. He was very upset, and it took, I think, 2 days for Chris to see my message. So for 2 days, it was a little bit hard to deal with for Jamie. And when Chris finally did open my message, he literally answered me and went straight to Twitter, straight to Discord, and he promised that when he went on with Unmasked, he would make a public statement, and I watched him do it.
Okay.
I just don't want you to think that Chris is out there being reckless, not giving a shit about making a mistake. He definitely cared.
He definitely cared, but he could have got this person killed, literally. And then what was he going to say? I'm sorry? It reminded me of the Michael Crowe, that he tried to put an innocent 14-year-old away for life and then try to protect the real killer.
I think he was doing his job. I really do. I've gone through all this. I've watched it happen. I've watched them attack him with the Michael Crowe case. I really think, Laura, this is your channel. I just wanted to clear up the thing about Jamie. And listen, if you want to talk about Michael Crowe, go ahead. But I do know that Chris cleared up a lot of misinformation about the Michael Crowe stuff too. He put it out pretty quickly because people started digging that out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know, try to contact him, Laura. Try to talk to him before jumping to conclusions. You'd probably really like Chris. He's a good person. People make mistakes. It happens. I've made them. You've made them. We've all made mistakes.
Okay, but listen to me. I understand the Jamie thing, and I'll even give it that it was a mistake. I'll give you that, okay? It was a mistake. Even though he didn't correct it on his channel, out of respect for you being my friend, I will totally go with it, all right? Tell me why.
Don't go with it because I'm your friend. I wanted you to know that he definitely did take to the platforms that he had to correct it. He didn't go live on his channel that night, so it didn't happen on his channel. But he did make a statement on Unmasked. I watched it. So just know that I wanted to make sure that you had the right information and that you didn't have it wrong and nip it in the bud. You know what I mean?
And I appreciate that. However, Chris has never apologized on his own channel, but that's not even my biggest issue. My biggest issue is what he's doing to this Twitter person. This Twitter person is not Brian Laundrie by any shape of the imagination.
I didn't even see the Twitter. So I've been all over the place today, so I have no idea what happened with Twitter, but...
Okay, well, let me explain. He accused somebody of being Brian Laundrie. He showed the channel name on his live last night. He showed text messages from this guy's Twitter or girl's Twitter. And he accused him of, because he's an introvert, he's a homicidal killer. And he went public with this to, 100,000 people? And then to double down after this guy blocked him or girl blocked him, saying, this is a joke, I'm not him, or I'm not Brian. And he goes on today to say how he's taunting the police, how this is Brian, and he makes a cover that he has confirmed that this is Brian. Confirmed. Blatant fucking lie.
Well, wait a minute. So let me ask you this. Okay, Chris is saying that this is Brian. What proof do we have that it's not?
There's a lot of proof. One is common sense. If you read the guy's Twitter, it is definitely not Brian. Or I think it's a girl, actually. It's definitely not Brian. And it takes 10 minutes to look through it and know that it's not Brian. Besides the other stuff that I said earlier, that if it was Brian, let's say it was Brian, as an investigator, he would never out this on his channel before the FBI could track it. So right then and there tells you it's not him. Because no reputable person would do that. No reputable cop, FBI, anybody. Nobody's going to do it.
Your title is so harsh.
And that's how I feel. Because him saying that he has confirmed that this account is Brian is complete bullshit. And he now put a target on somebody else's back with his bullshit. There is no confirmation. That's like I said. What?
Send me where's the Twitter account?
Which one?
What's it called?
Nomadic Trek.
Nomadic Trek? Is there any kind of underscore or anything?
No, just Nomadic Trek.
TREK?
Did he what?
TREK?
Yeah, TR, like the bike. The Twitter account has been active since 2016. Brian would have been 17.
Okay.
But trust me, it's not Brian. Logic, just like I said in the beginning of the live, logic alone as an investigator, because I'm not an investigator. I never have been. I play one on YouTube. But an investigator is never going to out the information like this to the most wanted man in America. You don't go live on something like this. That's like when they said that it's guaranteed that Brian, that this other Twitter account led to Brian. No, it did not. It's absolutely disgusting what he's doing to this innocent person.
That this doesn't lead to Brian in any way, that this person
Nope.
doesn't have anything to do with them?
Nope. This person, if you really track it, leads to a YouTube account with almost 1 million subscribers. If you really want to track it, it leads to a woman and a man YouTubers with huge following, like almost 1 million. Somebody showed it to me yesterday.
Well, I don't know much about it, like I said, because I haven't watched the video that he put out on it. But anyhow, I wanted to clear up the thing about Jamie. I do know that Jamie's still mad. I've seen he's upset, but I just also know that when I told Chris about it, he immediately corrected it, and I don't know. I don't know.
Well, he needs to correct this and pull down his video that got like 100,000 views that says that it's been confirmed that it's Brian Laundrie.
Well, I have no control over that. I don't know what's going on or what he knows, what information he has.
He doesn't have information. It is clickbait lie. Because if you go in the video, he says possible. His whole title is clickbait. And it's just bullshit.
In the video that it's possible it's him. He didn't come straight out and say it was definitely
Well,
him.
he did on his title. His latest title says, "This is confirmed to be Brian Laundrie." If that was the case, the FBI would be all over it. It's a fucking blatant lie. Blatant lie. The FBI would be all over it. Everybody would be all over it. Actually, full on hypocrisy. I've never done clickbait titles.
It's not that I don't agree with Laura. I'm letting Laura know what took place and what happened. This isn't me disagreeing with Laura.
I agree.
This is me letting Laura know what happened so that she's not giving the wrong story, and then a bunch of people are going to run with that. Chris said something about Jamie that he never said. Okay? That's why I called Laura, because I care enough to make sure she's not putting out the wrong information. Jean Lewis.
You know, I just heard the story today. I didn't even know a lot of the story, so I'm not a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with you straightening it out, because I didn't even know the whole story.
Yes, Jamie was a mistake. I just said that. Jamie was a mistake, and Chris completely went. Like I said before, I don't know, maybe people are just coming in. He went to Twitter, he went to his Discord, and made sure, I watched this happen. I was there. I literally watched this happen. He went to Twitter, went to his Discord, and he went on Unmasked the same night and put out a public statement. I mean, Jesus, it's not like he ignored it and never corrected it. So, geez, you know, have people not ever made mistakes before? You're like paying people for
Yes, but he's repeating the same mistake on Twitter. He's doing the exact same thing again. The exact same thing to somebody who can't even see his stuff because Chris has his privated. That's the biggest pussy move I've ever seen. You go after somebody on Twitter and then yours is privated? Come on now.
Well, I don't know. He's dealing with, he deals with a lot of trolls, and I know that he deals with a lot of assholes, so I would keep my Twitter private, too. Why let people on your Twitter so you have to fucking babysit your Twitter all day long? Who has time for that? Jesus, it's bad enough having to control your comment section with some of the trolls that come out of the woodwork.
And I agree with you, but not when you're targeting someone on Twitter to be the most wanted man in America right now. And you're targeting some innocent person on Twitter saying that you confirmed it's Brian. That's insane.
Okay, so Chris's title says, hold on, I'll go look. Hold on a second. Let me look at his channel. It says what Brian Laundrie's possible secret Twitter account.
Then there's another one. There's another one.
Okay.
That was the one yesterday. But then there's one today that says it's confirmed to be Brian.
The only one that I see, Laura, I swear.
Oh, did you take it down?
I see what Brian Laundrie's possible secret Twitter account reveals. 108,000 views. It says possible secret Twitter account. Brian Laundrie's secret Twitter account confirmed. Secret Twitter account. I don't know, Laura. Just. I don't know what Chris knows. I don't know what information he has, and I think you should talk to him.
Okay.
Why not?
Nomadic Track said, sorry, not BL. Hate to disappoint. Chris McDonough, Greg Cooper, the interview room are whacked. Tune out these goofballs. I'm just a traveler and retired law enforcement officer with a daughter near Gabby Petito's age. Like many, this case has touched me. And you know what? I 100% believe him. But let me see if that video. Hold on.
All right, play the one from today. Can you play it?
Yeah. It says, Brian Laundrie's secret Twitter account confirmed. The interview room.
I know. I just don't want to speak on it blindly because I didn't see it.
65,000 people have seen this video. 65,000. Hang on.
All right, play it.
I am. It was 3 minutes before. Oh, because the ad. I was like, why is it only showing 15 seconds?
I'm Chris McDonough. Welcome.
Okay. He sure does say it's laundry. Okay, so he's mad because Nomadic Track blocked him. I would have blocked him too.
Okay. I'm trying to watch through the screen. Okay,
So then Nomadic Track puts up a post that says what's his name, stay home. Nomadic Track said only difference between the old days and now is that instead of a bunch of crazy talk happening and quietly on park benches, it's on social media. Unsubscribe and don't support crazy old farts ranting and raving delusional musings, justifying pathetic lives. Okay. Which now again, this guy was targeted. So he has every right to say that.
Targeted. I think it's Brian that's targeted. I don't think the guy is targeted. The Twitter account. I don't think that it's the Twitter account that's being targeted. I think it's Brian Laundrie who's being targeted.
Okay. Then there's a post from an Andrew Messawinner. It says, by some LEO guy who does not know his agency using a fake account. Shows a completely different account with 6 contributions, 1 following, 0 followers. This is not his account. I don't even know what this is, but it looks like some kind of
It's a misery winner to me.
Okay, but there's more than one Nomadic Trek in the world. I mean, there really is more than one. I know that sound not for you, but I understand that Chris's mind thinks there's only one in the whole world, but there's more. Trek is a bike.
Who's Perplexed 101?
Why
are you throwing donuts in the chat?
It's from one of my mods. I think it's one of my mods. I have to check.
Wow.
So then they put on, they do this again, and they show an address or whatever. And then he puts that it's in Bayport, New York. It's showing an address in Bayport, New York. Okay? What he doesn't show is when this alleged account started. He forgets to show that.
Okay. And Bayport is where? Long Island?
Bayport is Long Island, yes. But she's from Blue Point, not Bayport.
Right. But it's what? What county is it?
It's Suffolk County. So is Bayport.
So.
Yeah, Bayport's Suffolk County too. It's like Blue Point, Bayport. When they're referring to certain things, but this Andrew Messerwinner or whatever. Okay.
Laura, how far is Bayport to Blue Point?
It's not far. It's like, but everything on Long Island is connected. I can't really explain, but it's like all connected.
Literally, right? I'm pretty sure it's right on top of one another. So
they're connected.
Do you think there could be a connection here at all? Like, are you sure?
No, I think it's a troll.
Right.
And who's Andrew Messerwinner?
I think it looks like it's kind of it looks like Misery Winner to me if you were to really look at it.
All right, listen.
I don't know who that is. I just saw the name.
So let me backtrack a minute and maybe I can explain it this way. All right? When he showed an account, this is not the Twitter. Like, he didn't backtrack the Twitter. He only backtracked some yodel, what's it called? Like Yelp. It's with Nomadic Trek. I guarantee you there's multiple Nomadic Treks out there. Guaranteed.
All right.
But this also tells me, being there 6 contributions, 1 following, I bet those contributions happened yesterday, and this is probably a troll.
Like all the trolls in your chat right now?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, I don't know about all of this, but I do know about what happened with the Jamie situation. While it might not be a favorable situation and Jamie is upset, I do know that Chris did try to correct it, and he did apologize. I can't speak to whatever's going on at this current moment, but when I heard you say that he accused him of being in sex trafficking with Don, I'm like, oh my God, that's not what happened. So I just wanted to make sure that he knew what had happened with that. It was just about him working with this Jamie guy. A different Jamie is not Jamie Wilson. And like I said, Chris made sure that everybody knew it wasn't Jamie Wilson. It was a different Jamie. Michael Crowe, I personally have my own feelings about that. I think Chris was doing his job. That is my takeaway from the situation. This situation I don't know enough about, but I wouldn't discount it. I'm sorry, especially if it's coming out of you said that it's coming out of Bayport, right?
Yes, but let me also say this. Brian no longer lives in Bayport. If that's where Brian grew up, then that's where Brian grew up. But the fact that he's putting out this person's address on a video, now if we do that, well,
he put an address out on the video?
Yeah, he put the address out. That's why I just shut it down. He put out Brian's address and he put out Brian's old address. That's not a responsible cop.
Brian's address?
Yeah, Brian's address. Brian's old address, too, that Brian no longer lives there. And I don't mean the one in Northport. I'm saying the one in Bayport.
Well, yeah, because he's probably trying to connect the dots.
Yeah, but somebody lives there. And, all right, let me explain it like this. Somebody lives there right now, and he's saying this nomadic track lives there right now. So now you just put a target on that person's back, whoever lives there currently, because you're saying this other person lives there, because it showed that that's where this other person lived. Like, and then he puts out Brian's address, which I think everyone knows anyway, but...
Well, I think he might be trying to connect the dots with this Twitter account.
But okay, but listen to me, Tiffany. If he was a respectable cop, why is he bringing this public instead of going to the FBI? Isn't this FBI material? If he was so right, wouldn't he have brought this to the FBI and have them connect it?
I think he definitely reported it where it needed to be reported.
And obviously they told him he was out of his mind, which is why he brought it public. Because there's no other reason he would have had it public. When you have the most wanted man in America, where everyone is looking for him, you don't put something like this out public if it really was him. You would have kept your mouth shut. As a cop, you know that. As a non-cop, I know that. Certain things, you just keep your mouth shut. You know, if he would have gone after him. Cinnamon, you're not blocked.
This one has 1,562 followers.
Yeah, that's the guy's Twitter or girl's Twitter. He had 600 yesterday. He had 643 yesterday.
Okay.
And and he's deleting a lot of stuff. He's deleting a lot.
Who is?
Nomadic Trek. He's not putting up with the bullshit. He's deleting a lot of crap.
Like deleting his own posts or deleting comments?
No, people that are bashing him or saying that he's this or that, he's just kind of laughing about it. His responses to things prove it's not Brian. Just his responses alone, you could tell is not Brian. And Chris put it out. He's taunting police.
Well, Chris is saying, I'm reading the description on this video right now. He said that he's been sending cryptic postings of Gabby Petito after her death and continues to taunt police and the public. What is this guy posting?
He's not posting anything. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not posting anything. There's nothing. I mean, he posts the same stuff normal people are posting. You know, rest in peace, Gabby, and you were beautiful. Like normal shit. There is nothing cryptic about it. Nothing at all.
He said, since he exposed the account on 9/26, Brian has taken down an eerie tweet showing Gabby's van changed a North Carolina photo on the account and posted a response to Chris. It appears that Brian used a fake name and phony birthday, age 37, to set up the account. The account does belong to Brian. He will be captured.
The account does not belong to Brian.
How do we know that?
Because we know this. This is not Brian Laundrie. If it was, the FBI would have told Chris to keep your fucking mouth shut. It is not him.
I know. I'm asking you. Pretend nobody is listening to us right now. Do you have proof that that's not Brian Laundrie?
Absolutely.
Where?
Because it looks, when you read this person's post, one, it sounds like a female, but two, it's not Brian's personality. If you watch the interrogation video and you watch things about Brian and you watch, it's just not Brian. You can tell the person is older, the person sounds more educated, and to me, the person sounds female. So I know.
I will say it's a bit odd that this person's coming out of the same area.
No.
Legit.
Whoa. The person is not. I want you to do me a favor and go ahead and Google Nomadic Trek. See how many pull up.
They're 3 minutes from one another.
Yeah.
Literally 3 minutes.
Nomadic Trek. Pull it up on Google. There's tons.
Oh, I'm sure there is. But he showed this one. Like he's actually showing that. No?
No.
Well, anyhow, either way, you do your thing, but I wanted to make sure that I came and told you, and I I was writing paragraphs and you couldn't see that other one that I wrote. And I wanted you to know that he did correct what was said about Jamie. And I know he felt bad about it. He was very sincere and he was very genuine. And when he spoke with me, he was very sincere and he was very genuine. He said, I'm going to fix this right away. And he made it a priority to fix it right away. That's just what I know. And what I know of Chris, I've had nothing but good interactions with him. He's always been kind. He's caring. Or he does really good things for people. He is running the Cold Case Foundation. This man will give the shirt off his back. I understand that you're saying he's making a mistake right now. Okay, put that aside. Even if he is making a mistake, I just think that from creator to creator, like I said, I have a direct line of communication. Reach out to him, email him. I could reach out to him and ask him if he wouldn't mind talking to you so that you could talk to him yourself. But, I mean, just maybe hear him out or go into his live next time he goes live and ask him, a few questions, or maybe he could clear some of your questions up. That's all, because doing it this way is never gonna lead anywhere. It's not gonna lead to answers or get a response. And I don't want to see you going after Chris. And
I wouldn't have said a word if it wasn't for what he's doing on Twitter. I would have never said a word. But when you say that that he apologized, I know he owns the fucking foundation. I agree. That he apologized. And yet now he's doing the exact same thing to somebody else on Twitter is fucked up.
I know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about what he knows. I should not speak on it because I don't know enough, You obviously have been watching. I didn't watch this today, so I didn't know. I literally just looked at it now. I just wanted to make sure you knew about Jamie.
And I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. I'll call you later. Bye. No, nomadic is two different people. That's two different people. Phoenix, just make sure you shut the windows. So, okay. So Tiffany is not only my friend, but she's also my mod. I've known her for a long time. So that's why you guys were getting timed out, because she's still a panel guest, even though she was on a phone, but she's still a panel guest. So that's why you guys were getting timed out. So I apologize, but I would time anybody out if they were going after a guest. So no, that's two different people. There's Jamie, that was somebody else. And then there's the guy on Twitter, which I don't know his name. So wrong with YouTube, people care about friendship instead of the truth. Well, we're not going to see eye to eye on the truth. We're just not. I see one way, she sees another way. She was trying to explain Chris's situation with Jamie because, again, I don't really know the situation. I just heard it today. But we're not going to see eye to eye on this. I do not find Chris credible. I think Chris is a liar. I think Chris is only doing this for money, and I think his head is too big for his channel. And he shows that over and over and over and over. And that's how I feel. So nobody's going to change my mind on that. That is how I feel. And I'm sorry, but it's just, that's what's out there. So Tiffany is good people, and it's okay to have opposing views. I totally agree with that. But someone in chat said something that's very, very true. And that is Chris. I'm sorry, not Chris. Brian. And I said this multiple times. Brian would not be on Twitter still fucking posting if that was him. It's logic 101. You don't have to be a detective to figure this out, nor do you have to be a rocket scientist. If that really was Brian, and Brian got outed by Mr. Detective, he would have shut the fuck down immediately. But what did he do? He blocked him and carried on with his day. That's not Brian. Like I said, I'm not a detective. You don't have to be a detective to put just a little bit of logic together to know that's not Brian. But Chris don't want to believe that, so carry on. Chris is padding his wallet. I absolutely agree with that, Cinnamon. He would have been tracked down easily. Now, could Brian have thought... could Chris have thought that was him initially? Yeah, he could have. He could have even had all this information already. And then he would have gone to the FBI like a normal cop, would have gone to the FBI and said, look, I have this information. They looked into it. They said it's not him. And that's when Chris went live with it. That's what I think happened. I think, if he really thought that this was Brian, notice how no news reporters picked it up. Nobody picked it up. Nobody's talking about it. Only people that are talking about it are Chris. And you see people in his chat, in his comment section, is laughable. Oh, good job. You finally nailed him. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's not even close to being the same person. But you have his ass kissers that believe everything he says. For what reason? I don't know. Because if they really looked into the man, they'd see what a shady motherfucker he is. So there's that. Yes, I will. I'm getting back to that right now. So but again, Tiffany came up here to straighten out the Jamie thing because I really didn't know about it. So Chris even had his title that it was Brian's secret Twitter. Exactly. And with 100,000 people watching it, if it really was, the FBI would know about it. The news would know about it. Somebody would know about it. And none of that happened. So going back to Michael Crowe investigation, or Michael Crowe interrogation, excellent, excellent movie. Chris was called in from Escondo Police Department in California. Chris at the time worked for Oceanside. He called them in. At the time, I forget if it was 84 or 87. At the time, there was like new technology or something that came in. And it was, I guess it was like modern day version. When I say modern day for the 80s, modern day version of a lie detector. It almost reminded me, if anyone's familiar with Scientology, what auditing is, that's kind of what it reminded me of. L. Ron Hubbard came out with this invention called auditing. And what auditing is it goes by your pressure of your hands, your stress levels, kind of like, much like a lie detector test, except you're holding it like this. And allegedly it goes by like the ghost in your head, all the ghosts that hold you back from being the best person you can be. But that's what auditing is. It like makes you free of anything that's bothering you. And it's read by you holding these like silver things, and you just hold them. And you're not supposed to hold them tight or anything, but it's supposed to show your stress levels and everything else. That's what this machine thing reminded me of. And it's around like the same time they came out. So Chris told this 14-year-old kid how he murdered his sister. And he used a read technique, which is commonly used in interrogations. Except he did this with a 14-year-old. Chris at the time was a well-respected police officer. Why Escondo Police Department needed to call in somebody from Oceanside, I don't know. But they did. And I guess they weren't getting anywhere. They couldn't get this kid to confess for a crime he didn't do, so they called in Chris. And it's what you saw. I mean, you have to watch the movie. It is insane how they railroaded this kid. But to hear Chris call in to this movie channel, this radio station, and talk about how, he doesn't want to see this innocent person go to jail if he's really innocent, meaning this drug addict that actually did the killing. He was protecting him, but railroaded a 14-year-old kid who almost spent the rest of his life in jail. And thankfully, Michael Crowe turned out to be a normal person. He's married. The two accomplices that he blamed in all this because he was coerced into blaming also turned out fine. And it was just an ugly, ugly nightmare. The movie is called The Interrogation of Michael Crowe. There's one that's a made-for-TV movie. Excellent, excellent movie. And then there's the documentary. But it really is an excellent movie. He was a 14-year-old minor. Yes, The Interrogation of Michael Crowe. It stars, what's her name? She was in Less Than Zero. What is her name? Yeah, The Interrogation of Michael Crowe. What is her name? Oh, I can't think of her name. I have to look it up now because it's bothering me. Star. Ali Sheedy. I could not remember her name. Ali Sheedy, Mike Rendell, John something, Michael Riley, Chris Owens. She was the biggest one, was Ali Sheedy. She played the mom. And the kid that played Michael Crowe did an amazing job. Remember, tons of people telling him that's not Brian's account and he's getting mad at them. Absolutely. He's probably retired due to age. You know, I don't think he got kicked out of the force or anything. I think he just retired due to age. No, not Pelosi. It was Ali Sheedy. And Gemini Award for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role in a Dramatic Program or Miniseries, and a Peabody Award, both in 2003. What's this? Michael Crowe found factually innocent in sister's murder. San Diego Superior Court judge has found Michael Crowe and his two of his friends factually innocent in the 1998 slaying. I thought it was the 80s. 98 slaying of Crowe's 12-year-old sister Stephanie. And they won a huge multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And it was actually somebody else that did it, but the case is technically a cold case. It is really good. They received $7.2 million in 2012. I mean, these cops told Michael Crowe that the family didn't love them anymore, that his mom gave up on him. His mom never wanted to talk to him again. His parents know that he killed his sister. Chris was right all up in this. The H in huge is not silent, though. They weren't butthurt in the 80s like now. No, it was actually 90s. For some reason, I thought it was like 87. But really sad. Very good movie if you want to check it out, though. Dark. Michael Rendell played him. He did an excellent, excellent job. Yeah. Chris's title is Secret Twitter Account Confirmed. No. Try again. All right, Nomadic Trek Cut did more. He said, this just in. Do you think that's him? Oh my God, you should call the interview room 6 hours ago. Then says, do yourself a huge service and unsubscribe, unfollow. Don't give any more of your hard-earned money or time to the interview room. Let advertisers know you won't tolerate Chris McDonough's gut delusions and bad behavior. Justice for Gabby. Hashtag go travel. Good for him. That right there tells you that's not Brian. Brian is the most wanted man in America. He would never, ever keep posting if that was him. This guy is making a mockery out of the interview room. Thank you. Thank you. Disgusting. I can't believe it either. I really can't. I'm dumbfounded. Dumbfounded. Oh, he said, sorry, not BL or Andrew. And then says, do yourself a huge service and unsubscribe, unfollow, and don't give any more of your hard-earned money or time. Unbelievable. Brian would have deleted that Twitter instantly, Joe. Instantly. It's so ridiculous. But I agree with you. He doubled down today. Doubled down. This truck count is Brian. And what vape are you using? It looks like gives you it does give me a fantastic puff. Except it runs out of batteries quickly. It's a Odin? Open? I don't know. Out of juice. Please look into Chris McDonough, Elizabeth Smart case. Why? What happened there? What did he have to do with Elizabeth Smart? Exactly. Oh, someone before mentioned, Dog the Bounty Hunter. All right, let me just say this. If I ever want to know, what's going on with the mafia, I'm not going to go to Robert De Niro to tell me about The Godfather. He did a great movie, but he's not who I'm going to go talk to about the mafia family and The Godfather just because he played one on TV. Dog the Bounty Hunter had his time way back when, but really he's a TV actor. And he set up his own show and he did things for his own show. And at the end of the day, he's an actor. So for anybody to be whisked away by this 75-year-old man who doesn't even button up his shirt, I'm sorry, but I can't respect that. Sorry, I just can't. Oh, there's a mafia. He was allegedly one of the investigators smearing Elizabeth Smart's parent. No shit. Oh, Pacino. I'm sorry, not De Niro. Pacino. Thank you, Janina. That's a cool name, Janina. I like that. Like I'm not dog found where BL and his parents went camping. Allegedly. Remember that. Allegedly. We don't even know if they really went camping. We really have no idea if they actually went camping. That's something the neighbor said. We don't know if it's true. Pacino equals Taurus, just saying. Does it? I didn't know that. But dog getting involved brought more attention to the case, though that's a good thing. I don't believe that, Muffin. I don't think so at all. All right, let me take a look. I never heard that, though. And I also want to make a correction. I said the other day that I said Pamela Smart and not Elizabeth Smart, so I want to make that correction. I apologize. That was bad. I don't see anything related that's bad. I see that Elizabeth Smart is connected to the Cold Case Foundation. How's that a bad thing? Praise the comment. JCO that works for the org. Who is being investigated in Utah. Doxey went to campground and verified at the dates, and the parents never released the info to FBI. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Yeah, I don't see where he was smearing her parents, though. I'm not seeing that at all. If someone could show me where, because I'm not seeing that. So if someone could point to me where that is, because all I see is positive things. I see Profiling Evil connected to Elizabeth Smart. I see Cold Case Foundation connected to Elizabeth Smart. I don't see anything bad. That's her, exactly, Gene. That's how you correct a mistake on the same channel you made the mistake. Absolutely agree with that. Try to find, yeah, email it to me. PURPLEXEDQT@gmail.com. But I'm not seeing anything bad. And believe me, I would love to find it, but I'm not seeing anything bad. I don't see anything. I'm not seeing anything. I don't see anything. Was he a detective at the time? I'm not in Florida anymore. No, I used to be. I'm not there anymore. Was he a detective? I don't see anything that relates to that. I even put in a full title. I'm not seeing anything. So if you guys can send me something, I'll more than look at it, but I'm not going to bash on something I can't find. I'm not even going to talk about something I can't find. I'll agree with that too. He does love to toot his own horn. Oh, who's Chris D? Yeah, I'm not finding anything. I'll give it one more look. Yeah, he retired normally. He did nearly 25 years with Oceanside. He has investigated and solved hundreds of homicides, consulted nationally on some of the country's highest profile child homicide and kidnapping investigations, including Joan Benet Ramsey, Elizabeth Smart, Letitia Hernandez, Michael Secchi, and the West Memphis Three. Christopher Morgan. And that's why his ego is too big for his own body. Oh, Chris McD. Okay, that makes sense. Oh. Yeah, I can't find anything. He may have wiped his record, though. He may have gotten rid of it. No, he wasn't. He was California. How he ever did that job, and I'm not even going to try to be rude. Like, for real, I think any of us are better than him current. I agree with that, too, Northern Light. That's what I'm saying. He may have been great in his time, but for him to be accusing this person, yeah, no, sorry. I'm not buying it. Hey, I don't understand, though. I paid like some stupid $35. I was saying this yesterday for the Cold Case Foundation. Doesn't even show it still exists. Like, it doesn't even show that they're still doing it. So basically, I just wasted $35. That's fucked up. Now it's just a donate. That's whacked. That's like scam. Yeah, there's nothing in here about it. There were a couple hundred people, too. There's nothing in here. I want to know where my special privileges are. Yeah, it's not here anymore. It was like, join the team. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. I don't know. No, coldcasefoundation.org. All it says is donate. Cold Case Live. Join now. I'm already a member. Oh, sign in. All right. There you go. Oh, yeah, I'm in. Doesn't show you much. It's not as easy as it used to be. There's not even anything in here. Podcast, nothing. Oh, there it is. I don't know. So that's it. He's not with the times, social media. He has the son do everything for him. I don't know. I think it's fucked up. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 12 o'clock Central, I will be live. Gabby's family is holding a press conference. I don't know what they're discussing. Winston is fucking a pillow. I was wondering what the noise was. Yeah, he's next to me banging a pillow. Or he's hiding a bone. I'm wrong. He's trying to hide a bone. Trying to make it so Booker can't get it. And yeah, so there's a press conference tomorrow that I will be live. And that's all I really have for you guys. Let me see if anything's updated on Twitter. Oh, did Brian post something? Alright. Gabby's father and stepfather spoke at her memorial. Joseph Petito said he wants the world to be inspired by Gabby. If there is a trip you want to take, do it now while you have the time. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. I know what I want to talk about. Hang on. Okay, 1 hour ago, Brian had a conversation with Dog the Bounty Hunter.
So I'm just going to record this. So what did you guys...
Hold on. It's only 2 minutes.
Hold on 1 second, dog. Luis.
Sure.
Luis. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. So I'm just going to record this. So what did you guys discover at what's the deal with the campground?
So we discovered that on the early September, the mother and father had registered to stay at a campground, and you got the name from the 1st to the 3rd. And they stayed in campground number 1. Then on the 6th through the 8th of September, they registered again to stay at the campground, and this time they stayed in space 15. When they came in, at least on the 6th, there were three people in the vehicle, which was the truck, at the dad's house. And you have to fill out a piece of paper, and whoever filled it out said Brian, his mom, and his dad, right? So when they saw the truck leave on the 8th, there was only 2 people in it, not 3. This place is, how many acres, honey, is it? Hundreds of acre place that has got small islands all the way around it. So in a canoe or a, what's it called that he could have stolen? Any kind of little boat. What is it called? The little boat? The canoe. No, something else. This is for the ocean.
You think he could be out on one of those islands?
Yes.
And do you have surveillance video? Have you seen video of him going into the campground?
No, but I've got information that they got it. This is for sure. I wouldn't bust this loose without it being for sure.
And did you tell the FBI?
Well, who do I call?
Okay, you got to be kidding me. But you haven't told the FBI, the police. Sit the fuck down, bounty hunter, faker, actor.
The authorities. The FBI's off at 5. They don't work on weekends. Who do I call?
So you called the authorities, though? You called police?
Yes, I called some of my friends, that
okay.
we met by the dad. But yes, this is for sure good, absolutely positive. They checked in there, they left, and he didn't leave with them. There's a huge possibility that yes, he could be there. And there's also a possibility that he was there and left, but for one thing, for absolutely sure, he was there in September. For positive.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to call the FBI. Okay. And FBI works weekends when you're looking for the biggest manhunt that we're probably ever going to see in our lifetime, in my lifetime. So, a totally worthless info. First of all, let me put this out there. Unless there's video camera, Brian's right. There's no way that you can say definitively that they were there or that Brian was there without video camera. There's no way. If there was video camera, then he could say, yes, he was definitively there. The neighbor did not say they went camping twice. The neighbor said they went camping once. If you're going to tell me, and let's rewind, if you're going to tell me that the FBI wouldn't have checked into this from the neighbor saying that they went camping, if you don't think that the FBI is going to look into this, then I have absolutely zero faith in the FBI. Zero. None. That they're spending $200,000 a day searching this particular area when Brian was somewhere else and they didn't bother to check. Come on, stop insulting America. I'm sorry, but I feel like all these people are trying to insult my intelligence. all it takes is a little bit of logic. I'm not saying Brian's not in these campgrounds somewhere, because I just know he's not where they're wasting their time. I'm not saying he's there. But what I am saying is there's no way that the FBI didn't check after spending $200,000 a day where they are now. Sorry, not sorry. The FBI isn't a mom and pop grocery store closed at 5. I agree. Oh, that's Brian Enton. So they went camping like nothing happened to Gabby while Gabby's body was out in the open decomposing. Please don't always believe the hype. Like, honestly, don't believe the hype. He wants him for himself. I caught him, Marshall Dillion. It's ridiculous. I don't find the neighbor guy to be too sharp. He thought Gabby's van was Brian. Well, he wouldn't know. How would he know? Utah police chief is on leave now because of the sloppy mishandling of that DV call in Moab. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. I watched the whole thing twice today. One of my conclusions, I don't think Brian's a narcissist. I don't. And I'll tell you why. I'll play it, and I'm going to show you why. In a narcissist behavior, they're going to blame the other person. They are not going to possibly take the fall for somebody else. They just don't think like that. They're going to blame the other person. They're going to say it's her fault. Yeah, she did this. Yeah, she did that. Yes, it's her this. Yes, she did that. I saw no signs of that when he was talking to the police. And I watched it twice. Maybe I have to watch it 3 times. But I agree with you. You can't blame the neighbor for that, Jessica. I totally agree. That's what I said. Even a covert narcissist, any type of narcissist, they're not going to take the blame for anything. Especially something that might get them in trouble. And when you watch Brian talking to the police, he does not let Gabby take the blame. He takes the blame. He does lie a couple of times. For what reasons, I don't know. That I caught. He does lie like 3 or 4 times. But he really does not let her look bad. He makes himself look worse. That's not narcissism. In a covert, non-covert, that's not narcissism. A narcissist is going to blame somebody else. Now, should he have taken the hotel? No. But we don't know how he is with cops. If cops tells you to do something, you do it. Brian did ask the cops if he could go to jail instead of her, whether he meant it or not. He said it, and nobody mentions that. But that's what I'm saying. I don't remember exactly that, but he doesn't try to control it. He takes the blame off her and tries to put her in a better light. That's not narcissism. Narcissist would never do that, ever. He would run with the fact that they're blaming her and that, yeah, he's just a victim. He downplays it tenfold. It speaks volumes. As far as him being a narcissist, I still believe he killed her, don't get me wrong. But it really does change the way I look at certain things. You love dog? Sorry. He was very frightened, literally shaking, narcissical. I agree. And it really made me think, like, I don't think he's a narcissist. I don't. Oh, no. Danny, believe me, I'm definitely not one of the sheep. If he blamed her, he thought they'd know he was an abuser. Yeah, but narcissists aren't going to think like that. Legally, they should have arrested Gabby. I totally agree. Hey, Joe, I totally agree with that. Legally, they should have. And to say that they mishandled it, in my opinion, one of the things that they absolutely mishandled is getting him a hotel and her sitting in a van. Her sleeping in a van. That was whack. That's dangerous. That was mishandled, in my opinion. Even if she was the aggressor, she should have gotten the hotel. He's a man. You know, to leave her out in the woods or whatever by herself is fucked up. That is, that's wrong. Well, I can 100% diagnose him as a piece of shit. I'll agree with that, Columbo. We are eye to eye on that. But I'll play it. Hang on, let me get it. Maybe plus, hold on. Okay. Hold on. That's a long ass live.
It really stresses me out, and this is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty. Like I said, you're not in any trouble.
I know what the 911 call said, however, there's no proof of that. He's not saying it, she's not saying that. But I thought at first, when I first watched it, that Brian was showing the cop his bruises and stuff. When I was watching it today, I realized, no, that's not what happened. So, watch.
So, just go ahead and take a seat. Watch your feet. What's that?
You talked to Gabrielle, right?
Yeah, I just spoke to her.
Yeah.
So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go.
Okay, first things first, he's worried about Gabby. He says, all right, you spoke to her. He's not worried that she told him anything bad, or he's not paranoid like that. Just keep watching. Now, let me put a disclaimer on this. I still believe he killed her. I still believe he's a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. But if you're going to analyze it piece by piece, this is really important piece.
Go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle, alrighty? Come on over here. You're not in any trouble right now. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her, so like I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything, so I give her time, and we really had a nice morning, if anything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like arches before this stuff every time.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand, that's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said,
okay, he doesn't know what to say. And he doesn't want to out her and be like, yeah, she did this to me. He doesn't want to out that. I'm telling you, there's something to this.
Let's just take a breather and let's not, go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute because she was getting a little worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys from her, so I got in the way. I was just trying to, I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her away to go, let's just take a minute, step back and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Can I see your hand? Oh, you got a mark right here.
Oh, that's from a wire.
That's from a wire?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe we're getting pulled over, and then she grabbed the wheel.
What about the speed?
Okay, that was a lie, by the way, because she said she never did. But what I'm saying is, he didn't offer information. He's not trying to blame her. The cop asked what happened, and he told him. No, but he told him what happened. Why wouldn't he say what happened? Just carry on. Just listen.
Did she take over the...
No,
take over the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of, like, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up, and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So,
yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill up. So we're just grabbing water for the hike. Okay. And I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet because there's plans still to go for a hike. But it's good. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
Okay. But guys, you're saying that because we already know she's dead. But to a cop's perspective, he didn't do anything. Nobody's saying that he hit her. There's no evidence of any marks on her, but he has a ton of marks that the cops noticed. Forget the fact that we know she's dead.
Do me a favor. You want to go ahead and just take a seat right over here on the curb for me?
And if I was speeding, I'm sorry. I want to apologize.
You don't have anything in that pocket or anything like that, do you?
Nope.
Just the wallet? All right. And then, do you mind lifting your shirt so I can check the waistband? Turn around for me real quick. Perfect.
Nothing.
I just want to make sure. That's all, man. Go ahead, do me a favor, take a seat, all righty? Oh, do you have your ID on you?
In the car, if you want to come with me.
No, we'll just do this. Just go ahead and take a seat.
You come with me, I'll give it to you.
No, you're fine.
It's on stage? How many times is it?
Bravo, Romeo, India, Alpha, November.
And then what? And his reaction was to do what?
It's going to be out of Florida.
He just grabbed you? Look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean? And we're not here to be mean to you or anything. Well, you know, there's a first time and then it usually... We'll go see what Brian's saying, but I think you've heard everything now from...
Quick question, you said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
But only for like a second because I just saw the lights come on and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like, you know.
But did you grab the steering wheel and like swerve or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here or do you want me to kick it up some more?
Do you have any water?
I will see if I can find some.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
You wouldn't happen to have any water, would you? You might get a bottle.
My point being on all this is that hindsight's 20/20. And we already know he killed her or believe he killed her. I don't want to jump ahead. But from a cop standpoint, they've done nothing wrong. I mean, the cops did everything they were supposed to do. They listened to both sides. Like, that was my whole point in showing this. Is that, you know, to say that the cops did stuff that was so wrong, no, they didn't. If she hadn't have ended up murdered, things would be totally different. We would automatically think she's the abuser. And we would automatically think he did nothing wrong. What if he ended up dead? Then the cops could really be in trouble because they didn't put her in jail the first time. If you watch this, they did nothing wrong. So to say that, you know, they're under this heat, I don't believe that at all. The dispatcher did. The guy that rode him, the one that's talking, he's an asshole. He needs to retire. Trying to, you know, he like paved the way for Brian to do what he did. So I don't agree with the cop that's talking, but other than that, no one would have known she would have ended up dead. I agree. He's a man being hit and probably just wants to get away and not fight. That's what most men want. But again, everybody's looking at it from, we know she's dead. But the cops didn't know that at the time. They just saw two kids fighting. I wonder why they did not arrest Gabby. Because they figured that, well, actually, that's not true. They say it in the beginning. I'm not going to rewind, but they do say it in the beginning. I mean, I could do a full analysis of this, but they say in the beginning that they didn't arrest her due to the fact that, you know, they don't live there. There's two people alone. They would have had to come back for court, and it just would have been a nightmare that they chose not to do. Dispatches did, so I believe in combination. They all did something wrong and did not listen, and that's the problem, is that they're a one-track mind, and cop saying his wife was... That's what... That cop should not be on the force. That cop was wrong. That's the one that I think is dead-ass wrong. Sorry, I'm just saying, I'm talking from a cop perspective. Except for the idiot, they really did nothing wrong. They try to help her. I know, I am muted. But I heard that the Australian one was really good. Depending on how long they've been on the force, they could have answered 100, maybe 1,000 domestic calls or more. How many end up in murder a few weeks later? I agree. Yeah, it sounds back now. Which is the one he has a causal conversation with. The one that's not on camera. The one that's actually recording it. He's such an asshole. I couldn't even believe the things he was saying. But I don't know. After watching it a couple times, I don't know. I thought the cops handled it well with the information that was relayed to them. I agree with that. You know, I don't think they were going to arrest her, and he didn't want her arrested. He's the one that made the choice. He could have said, you know, he didn't offer information. They asked him, and he answered. So I don't think that anybody retired due to this. No, I'm not buying that at all. So, I don't know. I got a different feeling after watching the whole thing. I mean, my ADHD kicked in towards the end. I didn't watch the last, 20 minutes. Cop talking about his wife. Yes, that's the one I can't stand. He should retire. I don't like him. That whole thing was insane, the way he was doing that. It was like, ew. I don't think he's alive anymore. That's... A lot of people don't know. I don't know. Brian needed a ride. He didn't kill her because he needed a ride home. Thought I heard the witness change his statement. See, that's what I said, Jay. And then somebody pointed out that it was two different people. There was one witness that called. There was another witness that actually made a written statement. I thought it was the same person. Other people told me it's not. Other people said it was the same two people. All these people blaming the cops are wrong. It's sad they didn't go their separate ways after that night. No, Columbo, I was answering somebody in chat. It said about the witnesses. Why were they not ticketed for reckless driving? I don't think they were speeding. They were doing 45. When the cop pulled them over, they were doing 45. I wouldn't consider that speeding. His parents want people to believe his dead bullshit. I don't know. But here's the other thing. If Dog the Bounty Hunter is right, and Brian never came home from the second trip on the 8th or whatever, how'd Mom's car get there with a note from Brian? I'm just not buying it. Oh, it was only 25. I don't know. 45 in a 15-mile zone. You might be right. I don't know. I don't know why they had to wait and then get him with credit card charges. They could have gone Grand Theft Auto. Well, allegedly it wasn't Grand Theft Auto. I mean, you see him here, he's driving the van. He had rights to drive it. Especially if she never really drove that much. Then he really had rights. She drove it there. There was no note from Brian. I don't know. It was all planned. Very well possible. But there was something that came out that said that it was not, that his parents don't know where she is. I mean, where he is. I believe them. I don't. I think he took off. Someone said his name is on the insurance. Well, there you go. That would make sense. She pulls to let Brian a note on the car saying, "Don't hurt yourself." I don't know. How do we know Brian's parent? We don't. We're just assuming. There are too many logical people up in here. I'm not used to this. I'm usually screaming into a void. But it's like, what the fuck, Gabby? Who? She was a really important loved person. She wasn't then. Didn't you hear him say, like, this only proves that all of their hype happened after she died? Because he said she's trying to start a blog. She was trying to start. She didn't have anything. They didn't have many followers. It all happened after the fact. Cops put him up in a hotel because it was her van, so they couldn't leave her. Oh, okay, Jessica. That makes sense, too. Maybe Dog is on some. How did the car get there? Who helped him? I don't know if he is or he's not. But like I said, I have a hard time believing that, one, he wouldn't call the police about it. He wouldn't call the FBI about it. Two, that the FBI wouldn't have checked into that. That's a little far-fetched to me. Especially after the neighbor said. But the neighbor also said that they saw him come back from camping. Dog says no. That only 2 people left, but they have no video of him. It's bullshit. I'm not buying it. The note was from the park rangers to move the vehicle. There's so many rumors, like so much shit has been said. You don't even know what's true and what's accurate and what's not. So that's what I want to show from the video, though. Let's see if Brian's got anything else.
Hold on 1 second, Doc.
Oh.
Luis.
Sure.
All right. Oh, the manhunt for Brian appears to be shifting away from the swamp. Here's the latest.
Search operation that we saw the last several days. Many people now wondering, Marnie, there were protesters outside the house all day today, but it is very quiet tonight. And it's also quiet at the reserve, at the swamp. A limited search happening now there. We're not seeing the massive search operation that we saw the last several days. Many people now wondering, was that search at the swamp a waste of time? Could Brian Laundrie be in a totally different place tonight?
Gabby Petito's family is devastated. They want answers. They want answers now.
This is what Brian Laundrie's parents woke up to this morning.
Because of what your son did.
And it did not stop all day long. Protesters trying to send a message.
This is really the only activity we've seen.
Meanwhile, the search at the 24,000-acre Carlton Reserve continues, but police say it is now scaled back and targeted based on intelligence. Flooding really is one of the biggest issues with the search right now at the reserve. Take a look. This is one of the roads into the reserve, totally covered in water. There's really no way to drive in. The only way to search this area would be by helicopter or with a swamp buggy. Over the weekend, the FBI showed back up to the Laundrie house. According to their attorney, they requested personal items belonging to Brian to assist them with DNA matching. Today, their attorney released a new statement saying, Chris and Roberta Laundrie do not know where Brian is. They are concerned about Brian and hope the FBI can locate him. The speculation by the public and some in the press that the parents assisted Brian in leaving the family home or in avoiding arrest on a warrant that was issued after Brian had already been missing for several days is just wrong. Reality star Dog the Bounty Hunter was also at the Laundrie's house and says he is now working the case.
Can you tell us why you're here, sir?
Well, really? No, come on. You know, okay? Aloha, guys. Thank you.
And tonight, Doug, the bounty hunter, says he has a new lead. He says it is a very good lead. About 75 miles from here at a campground where he says Brian Laundrie and his parents have been. He says he's turning all of that information over
Irish Skylar covered it already.
to the FBI. Marnie?
Lots of eyes on this case, Brian. As far as that new DNA sample taken from the house, do we know what the FBI could be using that for?
I'm told there's two possibilities. Number one, they could be using it to match up with something from Gabby's autopsy, perhaps DNA under her fingernails. Number two, we're told they may have found an item of Brian's, perhaps in the reserve, and they're trying to see if his DNA is on it.
Also caught our attention today, Brian, Gabby Petito's family now saying they're going to be talking to the media tomorrow. They haven't done so since her remains were found. Any indication of what they might say?
Well, Gabby Petito's memorial was, of course, yesterday. Her family said that they wouldn't speak out until she was brought back home. We don't know exactly what they plan to talk about, but perhaps they want to revitalize this search, this manhunt for Brian Laundrie.
Thinking about them tonight, as always. Brian Enton in Florida for us. Brian, thank you. I want to take a closer look.
All right. And it looks like that might be it. Well, we got that already. Oh, that cowboy is in there.
Well, gators are more afraid of you than you are of them. We're not in a country club or a golf course where there's so many gators laying around where you can just walk up to them, say hello, how are you, or take your iron and chip up on the green with a gator sitting there. They get used to you. These gators in these woods, I've walked up to them, and they'll be sitting there, and they'll catch you before you see them, and they jump in the air, and they're gone. They're not used to people.
I'll take your word for that.
Well, that's just the way it is. But
yeah.
And if a gator had gotten anybody or anything of any certain size, they don't eat it right away.
Based on all of what you're telling me, you don't think Brian Laundrie is out there dead or alive?
No, ma'am. And, you know, I've had people say, well, a gator got him. Well, gators are more afraid of you than you are of them. We're not in a country club or a golf course where there's so many gators laying around where you can just walk up to them, say hello, how are you, or take your iron and chip up on the green with a gator sitting there. They get used to you. These gators in these woods, I've walked up to them, and they'll be sitting there, and they'll catch you before you see them, and they jump in the air, and they're gone. They're not used to people.
I'll take your word for that.
Well, that's just the way it is. But And if a gator had gotten anybody or anything of any certain size, they don't eat it right away.
Based on all of what you're telling me, you don't think Brian Laundrie is out there dead or alive?
No, ma'am. And, you know, I've had people say, well, a gator got him. Well, gators are more afraid of you than you are of them. We're not in a country club or a golf course where there's so many gators laying around where you can just walk up to them, say hello, how are you, or take your iron and chip up on the green with a gator sitting there. They get used to you. These gators in these woods, I've walked up to them, and they'll be sitting there, and they'll catch you before you see them, and they jump in the air, and they're...
All right, hang on a second. Somebody sent me something. Florida sucks. Don't let it kid you. It sucks.
In Florida, in Fort DeSoto. It's almost dark. So we had a very good lead come up today that he was down here in this park, not very far away. We checked our lead out. It is confirmed. The parents were down here 2 times. It was September 1st through the 3rd and September 6th through the 8th. They registered to stay at this park. They were registered, went through the gate, they're on camera, they were here. And they did enter. They did come here. Allegedly, what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th. 3 people came in on the 6th, and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure. So there's a lot of little islands around the area where we're at that he could get to on a canoe. We talked to the caretakers today of the islands. They said he could be out here, that he was here.
Okay, first of all, my question is, how would they know that only 2 people left? So, if they're on camera, again, if they're on camera, you're going to tell me the FBI hasn't looked into this yet? If what he's saying is true, then he just hindered the whole investigation and everything that the FBI is doing. If it's true. That's a problem. If it's true, there's a reason why the FBI has not released any of this. Either the FBI is dumb as rocks, you either have to believe they're dumb as can be, or he's sensationalizing and he's full of shit. You just don't know. Why is he That's why I'm saying, same thing with Chris. That's why I don't believe it. You would know if this was fact and this is true, then you would know to keep your fucking mouth shut. So I'm not buying his story. I'm not. And until I show proof otherwise, I don't know. He's as reliable as a ghost hunter, people. I agree with that. The emptying and storage. I knew that. I don't think that storage shed story is legit to begin with. See, Jenny, I don't believe he found anything. I think he's full of shit. I think he's trying to sound cool. I'm sorry, but I can't even look at this man. He's like 70-something years old. Button your shirt. He's just gross to me. But I don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't. Until I have definitive proof, I'm not buying it. And like I said, if it is real and if it is true, well, yeah, him and his mullet, I can't with him. But you got to understand, he has to come up with something. He has to. He can't go out there and act like he has nothing, because then he ruins his whole reputation. But I'm not buying it. I'm calling bullshit, just like other things I call bullshit on. Sorry, not sorry. But I've been on 2.5 hours, and it's time I cut it. I didn't realize I was on so long. Looks like dog has trouble finding a barber and someone to dress him. But yeah, I'm just not buying it. No. Button your shirt, exactly. He's just gross. I don't know. I just can't take him seriously. Because like I said, if it was that simple, he just found him right away. Bullshit. And I'm not saying the parents didn't go camping, and I'm not saying that he couldn't be in that area, but yeah, I'm just not buying that. Sorry. Thank you, Baba. He's worth $6 million? Is he really? How's he know only 2 people left? I agree. Thank you, Zelda's Ghost. So I will be live streaming tomorrow from probably around 11 Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Time. He gave us word salad. I agree. Let me look at something first. Hold on. Does anybody know? All right, maybe you guys can help me. Every time I go to open a link, it defaults to Microsoft, and I want it to default to Google. How do I change it? It just started with like the last update, and I don't know how to change it so it doesn't default to Microsoft. I don't know why it defaults. Should I just get rid of Bing? I haven't had this problem in forever. A makeup artist YouTuber died at 35. Mel Thompson. YouTube star and makeup artist has died. She's 35. She was beautiful. Anyone know her? Monday, her husband announced on Instagram she died over the weekend, but did not reveal cause of death. Mel sadly passed away yesterday. He wrote alongside a carousel of photos, adding, "We lost a beautiful person." I don't know who she was. She was beautiful, though. She has four kids. Wow. Included by adding, while the world knew her as a talented artist, those close to her know how wonderful she was. That's sad. She had 56,000 followers on YouTube and 169,000 on, I said that wrong. 56,000 Instagram, 169,000 on YouTube. She testing several products from Wayne Goss. Wow. I never heard of her either. Go to Google Home, click upper corner, set as home screen. It does come up as home screen, only when I open up a link. I'll try in a minute. So you heard it here. Yeah, Mel Thompson. Dead. That's sad. She has 170,000 on YouTube now. That's horrible. Nobody that young should die. Sex and the City star Willie Garson dead at 57? Who's that? He's only 7 years older than me? Damn. That's crazy. He looks way older than 7 years. But I'm 35 again, so we're good. Alright, so what are you guys saying? Go back to Google. Upper right corner, select as homepage. Where? New tab, new window, new incognito. Right click the link, it should give you options. Huh? What link? Go to Google, up in the right, select where? I'm on Google. Let me open up a new window. Doesn't give me an option. Thank you, Kim. It doesn't give me an option. 3 dots. It says new tab, new window. Look, I'll show you. Where? That's all I get. Settings? Hold on. I did click 3 dots. Yeah, search engine used in the address bar, Google. Aha. Make default. Default browser, Google. On startup. Advanced. Everything looks right. Look to the left of the page when you're in Google settings. Okay, it says you and Google autofill, safety check, privacy. Not on startup. It's saying Google is default. Make default. I'm going to try something else. Go to settings, appearance, under new tab. There must be a place to put your home page. Yeah, search engine, it's saying that it's Google, but it's not. I'm going to try something. Hold on. Let me see if this works. Not Zoom. Okay. Let me try this. That's not it either. Confusing, I'm telling you. Alright. Stall. Why is it like this? It's like everything is whacked. There we go. I remember what some of the stuff was. Well, I don't know. I'll have to go through it. I'm going to have to go through and see what's changed. A lot of shit's been added in September that I didn't do. And it keeps defaulting to Bing. I don't even see Bing. I don't know. I'll have to fuck with it after. So, I don't think I have a bug. I have so many things on it. So many different malware bytes and some other stuff. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I'm going to shut down so I can work on this. But I'm going to shut down. And I will see you guys tomorrow at around 11 o'clock, 11, 12 o'clock. And that's it. So thank you guys staying with me for almost 3 hours. And I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you in the morning.